Phyllotactic Spiral is a brand new high-impact frame pulse rifle that just released with Lightfall. It's pretty darn solid, and I gotta say, I'm quite a fan, but honestly, high-impact frames don't usually tickle my fancy compared to something like a rapid-fire frame pulse rifle. You can see the roll I have here, with full bore, extended mag, compulsive reloader, frenzy, and the brand new origin trait, Nanotech Tracer rockets. This says landing multiple hits turns your next shot into a homing micro rocket. Now, I can't say for sure exactly how many bullets that is in PvP. For the most part, I never really noticed this homing rocket, but I'll have to do some testing in the future and find out exactly how many shots it takes to actually get this rocket to pop out. Of course, you can already 2-burst with this since it is a high-impact frame, so the rockets don't matter too much, but they're pretty useful in something like PvE. Now, this roll is not the best thing in the world, but it's not the worst. However, you can craft this weapon, so why don't we go ahead and look at the rolls you can get on it and what you might want to consider a god roll. So here we have the roll that I have currently, right? 38 meters of range when aiming down sights. Pretty darn good right there. 18 zoom, 73 range on this thing. Not bad. Now here I'm going to show you what we can get on this thing in total. This roll right here has about 40 range, but a little more when we actually look at what we have. So I went for full bore and ricochet rounds in these columns. You can go for something else, but that's personally what I would go for. Now in here we have some interesting stuff. Hip fire grip, you can make some funny stuff with that. But the best things I think in this column are going to be tunnel vision. Perfect float will be pretty good for you too, because it will reduce that flinch. And if you are somebody who likes to play in midair, especially with a new strand coming out, then you could put on perfect float. However, keep away is a new perk that I've been looking at quite a bit. It's on a few other new weapons, and I think it's something that I'm going to look into when I can craft this weapon. It says increase reload range and accuracy when no combatants are in close proximity. Of course, we don't have the exact details on this perk right now because it just came out. However, I'm assuming it's not a very long distance away that people have to be out of your range, and then you're going to get all these extra perks, which means that we probably have around 41 to 43 meters of range when you think about it, and that's pretty dang good. Now, in this column, we have some pretty darn good stuff too. Harmony, of course, can be fun for certain builds. Gut shot, you never really want to build. Some people really like Frenzy, and when I was using it today, honestly, it was a fine enough time. Headseeker is much better since it got buffed, but it's really not what you want to go for. Elemental can always be good if you have something like Void, like I'm using, then you get some extra stability, and that's pretty solid. Finishing that off, we have Volt Shot here, and I mean, that can be fun, but mostly for an arc build. But what I think really shines here, of course, is Kill Clip. Any kind of kill perks are going to be very good for you. When you have so much range like you would if you had Keep Away on, then you can just take someone out from very far away, proc your Kill Clip, easily reload, take someone out in even less than 2 bursts. You know, you could even hit some body shots and still get that 2 burst, I'm sure, and that's just very nice. When it comes to the masterwork, I'm thinking I would usually go stability here. It already has 78 range with all this on it, so why would I sit here and put on a range masterwork? Sure, I can. Let's look at that. Okay, it goes to 40.5. That's nice, but again, we're already over 40 when we have Keep Away on, so why not just use the Stability Masterwork just so we take a little less flinch? Now, I gotta mention, make sure you're slapping on something like the Photo Finish or the Scarlet Semblance on these weapons because they do have these nice little glows right here, and any kind of shaders like that are just gonna shine real nice. Anyways, I hope you guys do enjoy the video. Have some extra little clips here going over and telling you my thoughts on the weapon as we go through them. But yeah, if you want to leave a like at any point in the video, I'd very much appreciate that. And make sure you do subscribe because I'm going to have so much Lightfall content coming out to you guys in the next few days, so I hope you're ready for that. All that being said, I think we can go ahead and blink onto this gameplay. So I gotta say, I think while I was watching this footage back and editing, I think the rockets might do 16 damage in PvP to body. If I see it happen in game, I'll point it out to you guys. You can see here, smack this first guy. Look at that. See those 21s on him? I'm not sure. See the 22 to body there. So I think all the damage on that first guy was also just head and body and no rockets. You can see almost 2-tap that guy. Use a pocket simulator there to push him to the left, shoot him out one more time, knock him down real quick there. But you can see maybe some 2 heads there and then 20 damage to the body, but I'm pretty sure the rockets might be 16 damage when they actually hit, but that's kind of my point. On some of these weapons, sure, the rockets can be really cool, but I think they're mostly for PvE to get that little bit of extra, you know, DPS in. But in PvP, you're usually going to have killed somebody, especially if you're hitting your precision shots, which I wasn't for the most part today, but sometimes I did, like right here, you know, hit pretty good precision shots there. I was just firing down lane using my nades to help take out the enemies with my teammates pretty well, just team shotting. And yeah, it works out pretty well, but most of the time if you're going to get the kill on them anyways, then those rockets aren't really going to come into play too much. It's actually pretty interesting to me because, right, we got, Quicksilver Storm, and that kind of had like the same exotic perk, right? You hit people and then those shoot out little tracking rockets too. It's kind of like they took that and they were like, okay, exotic, but now it's origin trait. And it's like, hey Bungie, you do you, buddy. I'm proud of you. You're doing great, Slugger. Keep it up. But overall, I will say the gun feel is quite solid on this thing. I'm not super huge fan, like I was saying earlier, of these high impact frames as of lately. I used to be a big fan. You can see, like, right there, they can destroy Titan shields super fast. That's great. They can kill enemies really fast. You know, they can absolutely 2-burst. There's a good amount of kick on this thing. You know, there's a good amount on a lot of high impacts. So getting those 2-burst, once you get it down, especially with that recoil pattern, which I hadn't yet, because I just wanted to try the weapon out and get this video out to you guys, you know, it can go pretty hard, especially when you get that recoil pattern down. It can go really hard. However, before you have that, you know, these are still going to be solid, but they're not going to be top tier. They can get outboxed by a lot of other things, including a lot of hand cannons. And with the nerf we got recently to pulse rifles, just because they've been ruling, there's a nice 2-burst figure there, they've been ruling the meta for so long, I definitely have noticed the nerf to pulses. And while I don't think it's been like game ruining, you know, it's definitely there. But it's still fine in my opinion, and I think pulses overall are still pretty dang solid, and this one is a nice entry into the game. When it comes to the look of the gun, I'm quite a fan. I think it looks real nice. Of course, I love anything that works with photo finish type shaders, where it actually changes the colors of it, you know, and it just looks so cool. I like the reticle because it's just a very nice clean red dot right there. You can see it doesn't have too much punch on it when you do get flinched. There's definitely a little bit, but for the most part, it's going to stay pretty center of mass in your screen, and I really appreciate that. So overall, the gun feel, the gun sound, as you can hear in the background footage, is pretty nice, pretty solid, and I think overall, the design of the gun was very nice. Oh, I got a nice Nova Warp here, so I had to show that to you guys. 3 kills on this thing. Just flying around, zooming around, feeling pretty good with this Nova Warp right here. Nice to be back in some quick play sometimes. But yeah, I definitely suggest to you guys, you know, obviously you're not going to be able to craft this thing right now, but whenever you can craft this thing, same as me, go ahead, definitely make this one of your priority guns if you are interested in pulses in the slightest, because I think this thing is quite solid, and it's definitely one that I'm going to be going for probably first or second. I need to check out the other guns because I haven't actually seen all of them yet, but after I check them out, I can be pretty sure that this will be one of my top that I want to check out and make it, you know, top tier, because man, with like enhanced keep away and stuff, I'm very interested to see what it can get. You know, how can this thing really roll? God, look at the left side of my screen there. There's just like so much going on now. Either way, this is the last clip I have for you guys. So as I sauce these guys with my shotgun here, I want to say thank you for watching. I really appreciate you, and that's it for me today. So as always, have a great day, Guardians.